Now, after we have set up and we have made sure everything is running, let's go to the lib folder and remove the main screen.dart file. Now, we don't need this anymore. We will start fresh together. So let's remove this file and go to the main.dart and remove this import statement since this file does no longer exist. Okay, and remove this part of code from the home till the route. Just remove it and let's work from here. Let's take a look at our main.dart file. What does it contain? Our main.dart file will contain our void main function, which is the first function that will be called to run our application. Now, inside the void.main, you notice that we have something called the run app, and we know that the run app is a function that is provided by the Flutter team. Now, this run app is a function that takes in a widget app. Now, what is this widget app? This widget app, like we said before, is the first application we create, the first widget that will be boot up by the run app. Now, let's take one step back and remember what a widget is all about. Remember, a widget is like a Lego blocks, okay? Just separate Lego blocks that you can combine to build a specific image you want. Each individual Lego block you can change maybe its colors, its width, its height. It's just some kind of special Lego. So after you change the width and height, you can combine them together to build your own visual representation, your own application. So that's the power of widgets. Widgets is nothing more than just the building blocks to build your applications. So if we take a look at the code of it, imagine the container is like a widget that you can change its width, its height, its color, and so on. Now, after we understood what a widget is all about, we noticed that when we create our first class or any widgets, we always extend it to a stateless or stateful widget. And the reason why is a stateless or stateful widget, it's like the mother of them all. It has some special properties, and one of them is this widget build function, which helps us to run the app. So it's very important to always include a stateless and a stateful widget in your app. Now, the difference between a stateless and a stateful widget, if we take a look at this simple example, such as taking a look at Mario, okay? We know that Mario can walk or jump, okay? And these two different actions can be taken by him. And we can also call these two different actions as states. State he's in. He's either not walking, he's either jumping, he's either walking. So this is the different state he could be taking. And to represent this type of state, we represent it using the X and Y axis, okay? So we will use this X and Y axis to represent where Mario is at that current position. Now, if I place it here and I make this simple mini application that has Mario starting from 0, 0, and the user can do jump or walk forward. If the user clicks on jump or walk forward, he expects Mario to jump or walk forward, and the position or the value will be updated. Isn't that right? So if we take a look how this would look like behind the scene, it would look something like this. The run app will be called, then it will call my app, which is the class of my application widget, and inside there will be some state of Mario. Where is Mario at that position? Now, after it runs all of this, it will stop because it reached the end. It reached the state that I'm seeing right now, this image. Now, when I click on this, I want this to update. If it stops, how will it update? If I keep on clicking, it will just show me this page. I need some kind of way to tell the class or the widget that has Mario, please change Mario's state now. I'm updating. So I will use something called a stateless widget. A stateful widget. That's why I'm gonna extend Mario to a stateful widget in order to give some kind of indication that this widget is able to change its state and Mario state is updated. So don't stop, go back and update or rebuild this widget. Now, if I use a stateless widget, I'm saying that Mario will not change its state. Imagine I am having this one page that shows Mario. Mario doesn't walk, doesn't jump, just an image of him. So now I don't need any kind of state. I'm just gonna leave Mario as he is, stateless. So if we go back to our code, we will understand now why we extended a stateless widget. Since there's nothing changing, nothing updating, all I want to do is open a different page, just run my app, okay? Now, after we learned why a stateless widget, let's go a little deeper and we notice something called a material app inside. A material app must be always provided to the beginning of the application, always to the first class you create. The material app acts like a pointer that points to different kind of widgets you built. So here my material app will have something called a field called this widget class will have something called the home. Okay, and inside of this home, what is this home? This home, if we place the cursor here, is the widget for the default route of the app. Now, like I said, imagine that the material app points to different pages. It navigates, it's the mother of them all. It's like, where do we go from here? So it will point to home, which is the default route of our application, which means when I boot up my application, what is the first thing that I want to show? To better understand it, let's take an example. Let me create a new separate page, and this page will be called the navigation screen, okay? So I'm gonna come here to my lib and create a new folder, and this folder I'm gonna call it screens, okay? I'm gonna call it screens, and the reason why I created a new folder is to better structure my application. So inside of screens, I'm gonna create a new file, and this file I'm gonna name it navigation underscore screens screen.dart. And you might be wondering, why don't I just write the code here in this one line and remove the hassle of creating multiple files? Well, remember, if I leave it in just one page, the code might get longer, might get cluttered, and might get hard to read. That's why it's always best to break down your code. So I will come to the navigation screen, and inside of this navigation screen, I'm going to create a stateless class. Now, there's this trick that you can use in the Visual Studio to create a stateless class by writing STLESS and tab. So I've created myself a stateless class. It's a boilerplate, and I'm gonna name it the navigation screen. Okay, so I've created a stateless class. I've called it navigation screen. Now that's it. I'm gonna go back to my main, and inside the main there's this home default value. I'm gonna add here my navigation screen. Navigation screen. Okay, now automatically when I add this navigation screen, and remember when I told you when you create a class and extend it to a stateless or a stateful widget, you automatically are creating a widget by itself. So home is a default route that takes in a widget, and I've passed it the widget I've just created, which is the navigation screen. So now by passing in the navigation screen, when I run this application, it will automatically go to this first page, which is my navigation screen. So hopefully this is clear. After this, we're gonna build our own navigation screen to see how this all wrapped up together.